Hi students, today we are going to discuss the second chapter of fourth unit. It's nothing but logic based testing. So in this video we are going to discuss two concepts. One is motivational overview of logic based testing and second one is decision tables. So in that the first one is motivational overview. What are the most important concepts which motivate for logic programming? In that the first point is programmers and logics. So logic is one of the most often used word in programmers vocabularies, but one of the least used technique. So logic is one of the most used vocabulary for programmers, but that is the least used technique in the programs. So Boolean algebra is being the simplest form of logic. For logics, the simplest form is Boolean algebra. So Boolean algebra is to logic as arithmetic is to the mathematics. So how Boolean algebra is related to logic means as arithmetic is to mathematics. In this manner, Boolean algebra is related to logics. Then if you come to hardware logic testing, so hardware logic testing means logics has been the primary tool of hardware logic designers. So first of all, logics are used in the designing of hardware. So they use the logics at first moment. Afterwards, many test methods developed for hardware logic test and adapted to software logic tests. Because hardware testing automation is 10 to 15 years ahead of software testing automation. So before software testings, hardware testings are already developed. Before 10 to 15 years of software, before ahead itself, hardware testings are developed. In that, hardware logic testings are adapted, and afterwards, this hardware logic testings is adapted to test software logics also. So hardware logic testings are the first concept. Afterwards, the software logic testings are developed. So hardware testing methods and its associated theory is a fertile ground for software testing methods. So hardware testing methods provided the fertile ground for software testing methods. Then we can expect the both hardware and software designers meet at a middle ground where Boolean algebra will be basis for common languages of disclosure. So both hardware designer and software designers are meet in a middle ground called the only concept is Boolean algebra. For both people, Boolean algebra must be required. Then the next point is specification systems and languages. So the troubles with the specification is that they are hard to express. Logic logicians have struggled with this problem since Aristotle's time. So in the logic systems, it is very trouble to specify that and express very hardly. So this logic struggle may come from Aristotle time itself. The second point is Boolean algebra, that nothing but sentential calculus is the most basic of all logic systems. So Boolean algebra is the most important basic concept of logic systems. So the third point is higher order logic systems are needed and used for formal specifications. So for formal specifications, we must be required higher order logic systems. Then these tools incorporate methods to simplify, transform, and check specifications, and the methods are to a large extent based on Boolean algebra. So this is the concept of specification systems and languages. To specify the logics is very difficult, and for logic systems, Boolean algebra plays the most important basic concept. Then if you come to the knowledge-based systems, so knowledge-based systems has become the programming construct of choice for many applications, and they once considered very difficult. So knowledge-based systems development is very difficult. Some of the knowledge-based systems are expert systems and artificial intelligence systems. These are all comes under knowledge-based systems. Then knowledge-based systems incorporate knowledge from a knowledge domain such as medicine, law, or civil engineering into a database. That data can be acquired and interact to provide solutions to problems in that domain. So always knowledge-based systems must be incorporate the knowledge. The knowledge may be anything, maybe medicine, law, civil engineering, etc., etc. So other implementation of knowledge-based system is to incorporate the expert knowledge into a set of rules. The users can then provide data and ask questions based on that concepts. The processing is done by program called inference engine. All these knowledge-based systems processing is done by inference engine. So this is the concept of motivation overview. It may contain three concepts. One is hardware and logics, and second one is specification systems, and third one is knowledge-based systems. So this is the first concept. Then the second concept is decision tables. So what is meant by decision tables? So with the help of these decision tables, we can solve many different problems. For that, what is the definitions and notations? The decision table is a table that consists of four areas called condition steps and condition entries, action steps and action entries. For any decision table, we have four areas. One is condition step and condition entries, action step and action entries. So each column of the table is a rule that specifies the condition under which the action names in the action step will take place. So based on the rules in the table specified, the conditions and specific condition, the action name in the action step will take place. So based on the condition, the actions will be takes place. This is nothing but the example of decision table. So we have four elements. One is condition entry and condition stub, action entries, action stub. So this is the simple example of decision table. Here we have conditions. If the condition and rule 1 is yes, then it is become yes. If and the condition 3 and rule 1 is false, then it become no. If the condition 2 and rule 2, it may not provide any answer. It provides I. I means immaterials. So we will discuss later what is mean by these immaterials. This is a simple example for decision table. It may contain four concepts. One is condition entry and condition stop, action entry and action stops. Then if you come to the above table is a limited entry decision table. What is the table we have discussed in the previous slide? It's nothing but limited entry table. There the condition stub is a list of names of conditions and a rule specified whether a condition should or should not be met for the rule to be satisfied. If it is satisfied, yes means that the condition must be met, and no means the condition may not be met, and I means the condition plays not part in the rule and it is immaterial. So yes means the condition is satisfied, no means the condition is not satisfied, and I means the condition not part of that rule, that nothing but it is immaterial. The action step names the actions the routine will take or initiate in the rule is satisfied. Then if the action entry is yes, the action will take place. If no, the action will not be takes place. The action step entry is yes, then action will be takes place. If it represents no, the action may not takes place. Some of the rules are not specified by the decision tables for which the default actions to be taken are called default rules. So if some actions may not be specified, in that situation we want to take default rules. Example of immaterial cases, how we can expand, expansion of immaterial cases, how we can expand. So immaterials are the how we are going to expand them means improperly specified immaterial entries can cause decision table contradictions. So immaterials always cause contradictions. So how to we are going to solve means if the condition true value is immaterial in a rule, satisfying the rule does not depend on the condition. It does not mean that the case is impossible. For example, take rule 1. If the person has are male and over 30, then they should receive 15% arise. Then if rule 2. But if the person are female, then they should receive only 10% arise. So based on the rules, the arising concept may depends on. The above rule state that age is material for a male arise but immaterial for determining a female concept. So for male it is material, and if it comes to the female it is immaterial. So in this format we are expanding the immaterials. For example, in condition 1, rule 2, we get immaterials. So if immaterial is there, it may be divided into two parts, yes part and no part. In condition 2, then rule 4, we have two parts. One is condition is yes and no, yes, no, like that. So wherever immaterial is there, those immaterials we want to expand. How we can expand is, we cannot say it is yes and we cannot say it is no. That's why we are represented that one in both directions, yes but or no also. So in this manner we can expand the immaterials. The expansion of the inconsistency specification. So we are how the inconsistency will be there. If the immaterial is there, it will be expanded with the help of yes and no conditions. So in this manner, we can solve the inconsistency in the decision table. How the inconsistency is existed in the decision table means true only with the by immaterials. So if you expand the immaterials, then inconsistency is removed in the decision table. So this is just a simple decision table and structure. So for this structure, we can design a decision table. Any flow graphs we can, based on the conditions, we can design the decision table for this flow graph. And this is the decision table is developed. In this decision table also we have immaterials. If we expand that one, we can get the consistent decision tables. So this is the concept of decision table. Thank you.